I'm making a new staple in our household, and that is like a taco bake, a taco casserole. I don't know what you call it, but it's really easy and it's really good. So let me show you how I make it. I'm making 2 of these. My friend and her husband just welcomed their first baby, and I want to be able to drop one off at their house. That way they have something to eat on for the next few days. I'm telling myself that I want to buy myself an electric can opener, and I've yet to do it. This is like what they used to do with the Pilgrim Ages, right? This is a casserole, so you do have to spray the dish, and I almost forgot. I would have been so pissed if I forgot to spray this. The base of this dish is rice, and I've only used minute rice when it comes to this recipe. I'm sure you can use other kinds of rice. It's going to take a lot longer to bake. I'm going to do 2 cups of rice and then 2 cups of chicken broth. And of course I don't have any chicken broth. I only have beef broth, but it's going to be okay. If you don't have any broth, just use water. We're going to add other seasonings, so it's going to be fine. Remember when I said we're going to add other seasonings, so don't worry about like if you add broth or water. This is why we're going to add some of this. I'm not even going to attempt to say it. And we're going to add a tablespoon of this right to the rice. Tablespoon and a half. 1 packet of this. I'm not even going to attempt to say it, but the seasoning in here come in these little packets, and like you just need 1 packet. I rinsed and drained 1 can of black beans and 1 can of corn, and we're gonna add it right in there. I also drained a can of Rotel. All my Walmart had was mild, and that's okay. If you like it spicy, get the hotter one. If you don't like it spicy, don't get the hot ones. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a good stir. Just make sure like all the black beans and the seasoning and the corn and the tomatoes are all mixed together really well. All nice and mixed up, and then I'm gonna cover it with aluminum foil. I'm gonna put it in the oven at 350 for, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes until all the broth is absorbed into the rice. Now, while our rice is in the oven, we're gonna do our ground beef. I'm using ground sirloin, but you can do whatever you want. And we're just gonna make it like we make our taco meat. So however you make your taco meat, make it like that. This is the taco seasoning that I use. I buy it at Costco in the big thing because we use tons of it. So I think that they're done. I'm gonna give them a good stir to make sure all the liquid is absorbed. Add our ground beef right on top. Make sure you spread it out. That way it's like a layered casserole. Once we have all of our ground beef spread out, we're just gonna sprinkle it with cheese, and we're gonna add a lot of cheese on here. We have tons of cheese on here. We're gonna put them back in the oven on broil for, I don't know, like maybe 3 to 5 minutes. That way the cheese gets like nice and like crusty and crispy. Here's what she looks like when she comes out of the oven. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. I like to top it with a few things. We're out of sour cream, so I'm gonna use Greek yogurt instead. It literally tastes the exact same. With some of this sauce and some of this sauce. I usually do onions and cilantro, but my husband used all the onions. We're just gonna do cilantro instead. So good.